just want to reflect on the journey thus far for so many months, that we're still here for one another, that even when we breathe on our own and we take a mindful step on our own outside of the sessions, we are actually nourishing one another and for the rest of the world. There may be ups and downs in life. There may be times where we felt weak in our practice, or we felt distracted, put away by things that happen around us, or sometimes even when we fall sick, that we can't really practice. But that's okay. That's part and parcel of life. What matters most is that the reason you're here is because you know that there are wise and compassionate ways to overcome them. You know that whatever good or bad, it is impermanent. You know that you can arrive back in the present moment to balance yourself out and to seek clarity and understanding into life itself. There's so many things that can happen to someone, based on statistics alone. The latest one that I could remember was in 2017, that about 144,000 people die each day. I could be next, and you could be next. It is a taboo to talk about death, especially in Asia. But in the Buddhist circles, it's never a taboo. We always reflect on that. I was just with my master. He put off a tooth today when I got there. When I got there, he was just saying that, okay, I got to hit to the dentist. Then 1 hour later, he came back and he was numb and he just couldn't talk. He looked really weak because of the anesthetic. And it also got me to remind that people do get old. And just last week, I asked him when he's going to die. Then someone beside me was like, hey, that's you shouldn't say this kind of things. Then my master and I just burst out laughing. Like, it's good to ask someone, we don't take for granted that someone is going to live on forever. So we can make the effort to be there for them. I would like to, since we're on this topic, I would like to read out that this is what the Theravadins chant every morning, especially for the monastics. You get up at 3:30, and at 4 a.m. you gather at the chanting hall. So you have the basic veneration to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, then followed by the 5 remembrance, the 5 recollections. It may sound very morbid, because the first one is to say that you chant like, I am of the nature to get old. I have not gone beyond aging. Then I am of the nature to fall ill. I have not gone beyond sickness. And then the third one is like, I am of the nature to die. I have not gone beyond death. And I must be separated and parted from all that is dear and beloved to me. I am owner of my actions, heir of my actions, actions born from the womb that I have sprung. Actions are related to my protection, and whatever actions I do, good or bad, of these I shall become the heir. So every morning, the Theravada tradition, we recite this. It's a recollection that everything around you will bound to be perished, including your good health. So it teaches us not to take it for granted and to cherish it while it lasts. And at the same time, not to grasp onto it so much. So these are just things that are impermanent by itself. So it's a good reminder that everyone who is sitting right here to know that the fact is that you are all dying. You just do not know when. The moment you're born, you're dying. But how come we do not realize that everyone around us is dying? The Buddha mentioned that you have to reflect on death every day, and then down to every hour, every minute, and then to every breath, and take each breath as though it was the last. Because how would you want to leave the world? The way you leave the world is the way you're going to enter the new world. They say that life is a stage play. So how do you want to get on the new set? Depends on how you live. So in fact, learning how to die is also learning how to live. The problem is that we always think that we have tomorrow. Sometimes even worse, we think that we have the next moment when I meet that person, that I can reconcile with that person. Or I will wait for that person to apologize to me, I wait for a person to come to me. But then when the person is gone, you wish that person will be alive. But if you touch your heart deeply and you ask yourself the question, do you really want that person to be alive for that person? Or is it that you want that person to be alive for you so that you can apologize, so that you can tell that person how much they mean to you, so that you can treat the person better, so that you can spend more time with that person? I've dealt with a lot of deaths, and sometimes not to the people whom I know. I live as a monk for years in Thailand, and almost every night there's always a funeral for monks to go to. And you look at the family weeping, and some are just laughing it off. But it's very interesting that at the final night of the funeral in Thailand, they'll have a display of fireworks, and they say that it is a celebration of this person's life. So it is good for us to face the truth about life in itself, and that is death. It is not a scary thing, but it can teach us a lot of things. How to cherish and how to meet ourselves eventually. And to practice in spirituality, to gain enlightenment, to gain nirvana, is to go beyond birth and death. Because with birth comes death. It's to break through the concepts and the ideas that things come to be and things disappear as though they are impermanent and they exist by themselves. Today is the full moon of the 7th lunar month. So for all of us who are living in wherever we are, we believe that a lot of people in the neighborhood could be burning dross paper, dedicating merits, and sometimes even asking the spirits for help and for protection. But how many people actually reflect on death itself? Not many, to be honest. So I'd like to invite everyone to just return to yourself. And if it feels right for you, gently close your eyes. Otherwise, just relax your gaze somewhere in front of you, somewhere neutral. And allow yourself to take 3 to 5 deep breaths, breathing in through your nose and out of your mouth. And as an act of loving kindness towards yourself, you do a quick body scan starting from the crown of your head all the way down, easing all your facial muscles, dropping your neck and your shoulders, expanding your chest, loosening the muscles along your spine, And allow yourself to take deeper and slower breaths. Breathing into your abdomen, noticing how your abdomen expands as you inhale and contracts as you exhale. And today is the full moon day of the 7th lunar month. The worst has already happened, and the best has already been fulfilled on this full moon night. May all of our collective practice that we have been doing, may the merits that we have shared, may they bring beings into the light and beyond. May our ancestors resonate with our vibrations and wake up. May they awaken to the awakening nature within them. And for those of us who were affected by the energies of the 7th month, may we also be reminded that he has come to its culmination, and it will only improve from here on. And today we practice the most profound teachings of the Buddha, and that is on impermanence, non-self, and suffering. And to reflect that life in itself is impermanent, our emotions and states of being of all sentient beings are impermanent and subject to change. And thus we will be steadfast and heedful in our practice and recollection of the Dharma, for it is the greatest refuge, protection, and wisdom. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Iti piso bhagavang arahang samma sambuddho vichacharana sampanno sugato lukhavidu anuntarum purisa dhamma sarati sada deva manunsanang buddhum bhagavati savangadum bhagavata dhammo sanditiko akalikong inghibasikung umbanaiku bhajatang veditapu vinyung iti suparipannu bhagavatu savaka sanghung ujuparipannu bhagavatu savaka sangho yaya paripannu bhagavatu savaka sangho saminji paripannu bhagavatu savaka Vagasango Yadidang Jadari Purisa Yuganinga Da Purisa Bungalang Isa Bhagavatu Savagasango Angunayung Bangunayung Daginayung Anjali Karaniyung Anuntarang Bunya Tidang Lungasanti. May all beings breathe into their own awakening nature. May we breathe into our own awakening nature and see a Buddha emerging in our hearts on the Namo Sigato lotus. The fearless Buddha of deep wisdom and compassion, Namo Sigato, of great purity. And as we practice, may all beings practice together with us wherever they are. And through this Buddha within each and every of your heart, radiate boundless love, loving kindness, the destruction of ill will and anger, the purest love that is unconditional. Radiate it throughout your physical space and beyond, clearing off all the negative energies around you. May the Buddha within you expand and emanate this light. And may you remember that you are a practitioner of the Chintamani Tantra, and that Kuan Yin is also your guide to give you support in her metta, to protect you, safeguard you and your family and your house. And invite everyone to come together as one and to perform the Thousand Arms Mudra. Karaniyamanda kusalena yangdang sangdang badang abhisami jasa gung uju jasu uju jasu wajo jasamudu anadimani sandu sagu jasu barung janga bagi jo jasa lang kamu di sandin triyo jani bagu janga bagabu Ule suananu gido najagu tang samajari ginjiye na winyu pari ubawadi yung sukino wa kemino ngundu sabi sada bawandu sukita damye Kijibana Buddha didasa wada warawang anawasi sadika wa ye mangandawa Majimara sagang anugadulam didawa ye jangadida ye jaturi vasanti aviduri Buddha vasambhavisi vasabi sada bhavantu sukita Danavaru barang nigubida nadimanye dagada jinang jinjivayaru sanabadi gasanya Nanyamanya sadugami jaya mataya ยุสังเอกพุทธมนุรังกิเอวังปิสาบาบุเตสุมาณสัมภาวะเยงอปริมัมนะเมตังจะสาบาลุกสมิงมานะสัมภาวะเยงอปริมาณังอุตังอตุจติริยังยังสังบาตอเวรังอสบาตังเดตังจารังนิเสโนวาสยามโนวายาวตาสวิกตามิโตเอตังสะเดงอเดดายพรหมเมตังวิหารังอิตมังอุติตินจานุปกรรมสิมลาวาตาสนินาสัมปานุกามิสุวินายเกตังไนจาตุกาปัสสยะปุนาเรติเต emanating loving kindness across the universe. The universe, which is none other than your own consciousness, your being, your current being, has been conditioned by all that has come before. Therefore, you are not separated from them. And as your mind and hearts radiate loving kindness, your consciousness, the entire cosmos, will vibrate on this loving kindness energy. It is just metta everywhere. Penetrating even to the darkest spots of the universe and the darkest areas of your minds. Your happiness, your wisdom, your suffering, and your wishes and aspirations. Without all sentient beings, you will not be who you are today, or to have those thoughts and feelings. The One is the All, and the All is the One. So radiate more metta, more loving kindness, so that the All can receive and be transformed. And send out just a little more loving kindness. And just a little bit more loving kindness. And just push yourself to send out just a little bit more loving kindness and light. Selfless love to expand as though you are the light bulb that grows brighter and brighter. Just a little bit more. That the light bulb envelops your entire home and the doorway. Namo Sigato, Namo Sigato, Namo Sigato, Om Mani Padme Hum. Dear Lord Buddha, dear all 28 Buddhas who have come before, the enlightened ones who have gone through all the suffering to arrive at their wisdom, who have gained enlightenment for the sake of all beings. All 28 of you whom in your generation was the first to uproot all defilements, to penetrate the truth of Dharma. May you come and reside above my crown, safeguard me, protect me, and all the noble arahants, enlightened disciples of the Buddha. Enter my faculties, transmute all 80 of you into my body, and may the sutras shield me and cast a protection in my home of golden light. Thus I dwell in this victor's cage, steadfast, ardent, focused, and radiating nothing but metta and the Dharma. Chayasana Buddha Jedavamarang Savanganang Jadusacha Sabang Rasang Ye Viving Sunara Sabadan Hangara Dayum Buddhang Adavi Sadina Yaga Sabi Bati Dita Moing Hang Madagi De Munin Sarasi Se Bati Dito Moing Hang Buddho Dammo Davido Janin Sangu Bati Dito Moing Hang Ure Savagunang Garung Ataye Ming Anurudo Sari Buddho Jadagine Gundanyo Piribaga Saming Mungala No Java Magita Gine Savani Moing Hang Asung Anandara Mulo Kasabu Yamanga Namung Ubasung Masudaki Gisatu Piribaga Saming Suriyo Wabangaro Nisinu Siri Samban Sobido Muni Bungavu Kumaraga Sabutiru Mangisi Jidawada Gusu Mainghang Wadanini Jangbadi Dasikuna Bunyom Nanguli Malu Jaubali Nanda Sivali Tira Banjai Me Jadana La Tila Kama Masisa Siti Mangha Tira Vijita Jinasawaka Iti Siti Mangha Tira Jinavandu Jinarasa Jalanda Sila Tije Nanganga Mangki Susangtita Radhanang Buradung Asita Gini Mida Sudakang Najakang Bajadung Asiwa Minganguli Malakang Kandamu Rabari Danjang Adana Diya Sudakang Agasi Jatanang Asisi Sabakara Sangdita Jinana Navara Sangyuta Sada Bakara Langata Vada Vidari Sangjada Bahiraja Dubada Wangasisa Vinayang Yandu Ananda Jinati Jasawa Satu Mesaki Jina Sata Samputta Panjari Jina Pajarama Jammi Viharandang Mahidali Sata Paling Tumangsa Piti Mangaburisa Sabak Icheva Mando Sukutto Suraku Jinanuba Vinajidu Badavu Dhammanuba Vinajidari Sangu Sanganuba Vinajidandarayo Saddhammanubhava Balido Jarami Jina Banjari Di. Having chanted and having listened to this chant wherever you are, may the power and merits of this chant that has been transmitted throughout the generations of the enlightened ones, may they cast a protection around all of you, forming a wall around you, a wall of sutras and a roof of sutras, and expanding 7 pillars outwardly to encompass your entire home, full of sutras, mandalas, and mantras circulating you and your home, of the greatest power, protection, and compassionate energy. Free from the clutches of Mara, the evil one, the evil thoughts, the wrong understanding, and doubts. May all of you dwell in this victor's cage, to be victorious, to be masters of your own mind. And from this space, as you breathe, you call upon all beings out there, however far away, to practice with you. Your loved ones who have gone, wherever they are, through the power of interbeing and emptiness. May the mere thought of them shake their worlds and make them alert as you call them out from your mind. And however far away they are, may they mirror your physical body and the way you are breathing. Tonight, you practice for them. All your karmic debtors and your karmic creditors, and all beings seen and unseen. The moment you think of them, out of metta, loving kindness, their words will shake, and they mimic your posture and your practice. You call upon the ancestors of the land, the pioneers who have built the country you are living in. Expressing gratitude to them for having gone through so much suffering, pain, and death to allow you to live a comfortable life. They may not have had the chance to do so, but you, in this healthy body and healthy mind, you call upon them and breathed out all your merits and your gratitude to them. You are their life purpose. They went through so much so that you can be fortunate today. And from your heart, you apologize to them and ask for forgiveness if you have tainted that purpose by getting caught up in senseless arguments, senseless pursuits that have tainted what they have built, and sometimes even forgetting the freedom that they have given you. Dear land ancestors, please forgive our ignorance if we have not been mindful that we have destroyed your purpose. But the mere acknowledgement of these faults also means that we can repent, we can change, because there is mindfulness and goodness within us. So let us begin anew. Having sent all my merits to you, I shall now recollect the merits that you have given us. This freedom is our birthright, that we can continue to be better and to make society better. And I call upon my loved ones who are practicing with me right now, wherever you are. You may have lost your chance to live a fruitful life. You may have your regrets, but your regrets are also my regrets. And now that I am alive, trust me that I will be resolute and I will live a fulfilling life with purpose, with peace and gratitude, so that you can rejoice in the positive energies that I am going to cultivate, so that you will receive these merits and be liberated. All beings who have long gone, but I am still alive. My heart is beating. My lungs are breathing. But I am mindful that this may be my final heartbeat and my final breath. You all have been through this moment. Mimic me, please mimic me. For in the absolute truth there is no separation. There's no time, there's no space. Now that all of you are breathing like me, I call upon all of you to recollect to the few moments before you lost your consciousness. And while you're breathing like me right now, to infuse that energy, this energy, into your final moments, so that you can breathe with peace. And thus, I breathe in this manner to imprint the Dharma into all of you, to breathe as though it's the last. And thus I shall breathe with no regret, shall breathe with a full enjoyment of the life that I have lived. And as let go of the final breath, I rest, I release, I reconnect back to the entire cosmos that's beyond birth, death, time, and space. Namo Sigato. On behalf of all sentient beings, I invite everyone to recollect all of your good meditation experiences and all of your daily mindfulness Zen experiences of interbeing, of beauty, of joy, of how you communicated with the elements, the sky, the plants, and the butterflies. Bring them all to mind, into your breathing. And into the hearts, minds, and eyes of all those who have gone. As though multiplying lotuses enter Pure Lands into the minds of every being, past, present, and future. Also emanating it to your younger selves, the mistakes that you've made in your younger days emanate, multiply. We all breathe as one. Liberate, expand, bloom, stand, stand, stand. May all unseen beings, those who have gone, enough has been said. Just send out final surge of merit and emptiness to them. May they acknowledge and be liberated and burst into light. Setting off a chain of explosions across time and space. For your loved ones who have gone, set off another series of explosions into your karmic ties with them that may still be lingering out of your attachment. Set them free, set yourself free. All disperse into light. Farewell, loved one, for only the Dharma remains. Namo Siddhartha. Now liberating the land ancestors. transforming the entire land, the earth, into golden soil of enlightenment. May all beings, starting from those who are your loved ones who are still alive, breathe into them. Embrace them with the Dharma. All of you are still alive, but it may be the last. Breathe your gratitude, your affection, breathe your practice and your merits into them. As though you are breathing for each other, mindful that it may be the last breath. Not just the last day, but the last breath. If any uncomfortable feeling were to arise, it would be a sign that you have taken their lives for granted. And you can try to appreciate them and be mindful of them. How do you make peace, love and harmony with them, right here and right now? Expand your light to all beings, including your enemies. Your enemies may be dying as well, and it wouldn't make sense to bear grudges towards someone who is dead. Learn to forgive. Learn to let go and live selflessly. Expand your light for all beings. Sending out more and more light, merits and loving kindness. We have them dispersed into light, all lotuses. Finally, sending out your merits to your karmic debtors, who may be after you. Send out your merits to them so that they can resolve their ill will. Send out this truth of the impermanence of life and death to them, so they can move on, live freely. Have compassion for them and do not fear them. Protect them, help them. Whatever fault or ill doing you have caused them, you acknowledge that you may have hurt them, but from your purest heart, don't want anyone to suffer, including them. So may they forgive you. May they rejoice in your merits because you want them to live with more freedom and ease. Dear karmic debtors, karmic creditors, may you understand our hearts and our intention. We want you to be free. Please be free. I bless you. Send out my merits to you. I love you, and I do not fear you. May my guides help you be free from ill will, anger, and resentment, so that you too can become enlightened and to breathe with zen and ease and bliss. Namo Sadhatu. See them rising up in golden lotuses and expanding into light. And send out your merits to all the gods, reminding them not to just enjoy and expand their merits. For the godly states are impermanent as well. They would die the thousands or millions of years. Even the Brahmas. Send out your merits to them. Thank them for having helped you and helped humanity. Who have given you the opportunity to practice. And now you send out your merits to them. Thank you, all Devas. Thank you. I extend my merits to you. And may we all be mindful that life in every realm is impermanent. And through the power of our merits, may you all awaken. May all of us collectively awaken. be mindful, live without attachment, to be heedful, until we attain nirvana. And the devas are happy, they smile, and they practice. They emanate loving kindness across their own realms and all the realms, even down onto you and your loved ones. So to the lower realms, and to those whom you have liberated. And you rejoice in this collective oneness. Just rejoice. Just rejoicing. Now just shining the light onto you, who is seated right here, practicing. Everything around you will perish eventually. Your health and your beauty will eventually disappear, along with all your troubles and your worries. For even your life will be ended anytime. Therefore, your practice is important. Without enough merits, would you be able to breathe like this the day or the moment before your death? How are you going to close the final chapter of your life? For these may even be the final passage of your book. What if you're going to die in a few more moments? What would your regrets be? Have you not been truly living? Have you been true to yourself? Or are you just living other people's life and expectations? Our temptations in life, are they worth it? Sometimes we may so freely cast them aside and just say that we are just trying to relax. Or trying to find excuses. But every breath that you are breathing in is actually a second chance to live truly and to live deeply and to practice towards enlightenment, or to practice in an enlightened manner, to live in an enlightened manner. But how many more second chances do we get? For those who pass away today could be just like us, thinking that there is always a tomorrow, there's always the next decade. This is the greatest gift that the dead has given us. That is life. To dare to live. To know how to truly live without fear. To live with righteousness, with commitment, with dedication, with gratitude, with purpose. And most important of all, to live with ease. So breathe into your whole being, get in touch with all your cells, with all the opportunities and the freedom that you have in your life. To all the strength and the power that you have. Sometimes awareness itself, this recognition of the truth itself, is needed for us to step forward. It's not just sitting back thinking that we need healing, believing we are broken. This is what the Buddha said. The power of truth and the taste of truth is the greatest taste. It's the most powerful and impactful. The truth of the Dharma. And we have all encountered the triple gems. We are blessed to have the triple gems in our lives. So put your palms together and we'll come to the end of this sadhana of today. Make your own resolution to the Buddha, to Kuan Yin, to you, to the entire universe, on how you're going to use this precious gift of death in order to live and to have merits to share, to have wisdom and compassion to share. And may all of you live in truth, the deepest truth beyond the ego. Natimi saranang anyang buddhu mi saranang warang iti na sacawa jenang hutu te jaya mangkalang natimi saranang anyang dhammo mi saranang warang iti na sacawa jenang hutu te jaya mangkalang natimi saranang anyang sanggo mi saranang warang iti na sacawa jenang hutu te jaya mangkalang yang kinjiratanang loki vicati vividang putaratang putasamang natitasamang sudi bhavantu te yang kinjiratanang loki vicati vividang puturatanang dhamma samang natitasamang sudi bhavantu te yang kinjiratanang loki vicati vividang puturatanang sangha samang natitasamang sudi bhavantu te Sagadawa Buddharatanang Usatang Uttamang Warang Hidang Deva Manutsanang Buddha Tejena Suttina Natsantu Bhadava Sabi Dukkha Upasamintu De Sakkatawa Dhammaratanang Utsatang Uttamang Warang Parilang Upasamang Nang Dhammati Jena Sutina Nasantu Bhadava Sabi Bayang Upasamintu De Sakkatawa Sanggaratanang Usatang Uttamang Warang Ahuniyang Bahuniyang Sangati Jena Suttina Nasantu Bhadava Sabi Ruga Upasamintu De Yantu Nimidang Avamangalanja Yuja Manabo Sakuna sasadu babangang hudu supinang agangna Buddhanum bhavena vinasamindu yandun nimitang avamanggalan jayo jamanabu Sakuna sasadu babangang hudu supinang agangna Dhammanum bhavena vinasamindu yandun nimitang avamanggalan jayo jamanabu Sakuna sasadu babangang hudu supinang agangna Sanghanubhavena vinasamindu. Bhavadu sava mangalang ragang du sava devada sava buddhanubhavena dhammanubhavena sangha nubhavena sada sudhi bhavantu no. Just share your merits one last time. Imitna punya kami na upacaya gunundara acariyo bhagaraja mata pita jaya daga piya mamang suriyo candi maharaja guna vandana rabija. Brahma maharaja indaja duluka bhaja devata yadu yamumita manusya jamajada virika bija sabi sada suki hondu punyani bhagadani misu kanjadi vidandindu kibang babita umatang Imina Vanyakamina Imina Udisena Jakipa Hangsula Pijiva Tanubadana Jedanang Yesandani Hina Dhammaya Vani Banatu Mamang Nasandu Sapata Yewa Jatu 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 Japavi Pavi Uju Jitang Sati Panya Sani Kuria Mina Marala Pandunuka Sankantunja Uri Sumi Budati Pavaru Natu Tammu Natu Varu Tammu Natu Pajakuputo Sangko natu daru mamang tiso tamanu bawina maruka sang lapan tuma panjamari jini natu batu samputi mutamang jatu sajampakan sisi mahawirang sabaya pupite namami hang itina sabbe mara pala yandu idang nu yadinang hudu sekita hundu ya tayo idang nu yadinang hudu sekita hundu ya tayo idang nu yadinang hudu sekita hundu ya tayo sabbe sata awera hundu sabbe sata apa paco hundu sabbe sata anika hundu Sabi sada suki atanang peraharantu katang penyang halang mai hang sabi pagi pak manduti. Arahang sama sambuddho bhagava buddhang bhagavantang bhivati mi dam Sawagado bhagavata dhammo dhammang namasami Suparipano bhagava sangho sanghang namami Kumbhakan ningan ko sutukuroko Kumbhaka seteke teke Kumbhakan ningan ko tukuroko Hummasikato namasikato namasikato Hummane pemi kumbhakan ni hummane pemi hummane pemi kumbhakara kasiti Saniga naga niga no maga niga no go miga naga niga no go maga niga go bakasi tigi naga niga kenji tigi naga takiri ki do go saniga naga Kaniga no go humbaka sindiki niga maka niga no go humbaka niga no go humbaka Humbaga niga niga no go humbaga niga no go niga naga naga niga niga no go humbaga niga niga naga niga naga naga niga naga naga sindiki niga naga sindiki Soniga naga naga humbaga niga niga naga sindiki naga 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 niga naga naga niga naga naga humbaga niga naga naga sindiki niga naga niga naga sindiki Soniga naga naga niga naga niga naga humbaga niga naga naga humbaga niga naga niga humbaga sindiki niga naga naga sindiki naga naga niga naga naga sindiki Soniga naga niga naga niga naga naga May all of you live in wisdom and mindfulness. If you have something to share, you can stay on. Otherwise, you can continue meditating into your night. Or do what's important to you. Don't expect to wake up tomorrow. But if you do wake up tomorrow, smile, be happy. You have a second chance. And if you're reflecting early on your loved ones who may pass away, and you felt any kind of uncomfortable feelings, then reflect more, give them a call. Sometimes it's okay to let go of the ego. It is definitely okay. So what is there to lose? 50 years from now, you'll probably all be dead anyway. Who's going to remember the shame or the embarrassment that you have? Who's going to remember or gossip about you? Even 10 years from now. And even if people do, does that matter? 10 years from now, a lot of things would have changed. You have different friends, different practice. But rest assured that 1,000 years from now, people will forget you. In just a few thousand years, if no one practices, then people will have forgotten the Buddha as well. So what is there? Even memories and perceptions are impermanent. So why hold back? From the satsang, some of you have shared that you want spirituality, and that's to go beyond yourself. Maybe this is it. Just think beyond this life. But your lives are beautiful. I assure you that. It definitely is. So Thich Nhat Hanh has this mantra. It says, be beautiful, be yourself. That at least is the mantra that I practice. But anyone can come up with their own mantra. Maybe you have a mantra from today, from yourself. And the most powerful mantra is a mantra you understand that came from your own heart. It's not Namo Sigato. It's what comes out of that Namo Sigato. So if you would like to share your mantra, you can type it down. If you would like to share verbally, you can unmute yourself. If you would like to continue reflecting, just close your eyes, type pass, or just leave the meeting. But I'll be here for all of you. It's full moon. I managed to turn my mind around to not do any puja, but that was the puja in itself. It's the essence of the puja. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate that everyone stayed on so long. It's really nice to see that you are offering your mere presence. It's late. I know some of you wants to go to bed or you have some responsibilities, but some of you even wanted to just continue your meditation, right? But you stayed on to offer your presence. And this is very beautiful. The community can only happen when people offer their presence and not just want to take from the community, right, to give. And it also shows that everyone is capable of offering presence. So I challenge all of you to offer your presence to someone who's not in the community. I mean, someone who matters in your life. Sometimes your enemies do matter as well, you know, if they're causing problems at work. So what kind of presence you're going to offer? And the highest challenge is, I would say, to offer presence to yourself. Not only when it's time to meditate, you know, that is a comfort zone already. That you do not need much effort to offer yourself the presence in meditation or in any kind of spiritual practice. But yeah, see when can you offer your presence to yourself? Maybe sitting on the toilet bowl, or showering, brushing your teeth. You know, brushing your teeth, not thinking of what to prepare for this person or that person. You know, just offering your teeth the presence that there's no toothache going on, something like that. And to share, and what's your mantra as well. I think one important thing to note is that yes, part of how merits work, right? Like can share. It's part of it is that because in fact, there's this saying that everything is mind made. It's a manifestation of your mind. In the Mahayana Sutras, they talk about that. This is the Yogacara school. You come to a point of a contemplation that everything is just mind, right? And the mind is essentially empty of an intrinsic nature. So when you can penetrate into emptiness or into being, and you're deep into it, and you realize that everything is just suchness in itself, that's where you realize that there's actually no space-time continuum. Those are just ideas of the mind. So because you have come to that realization, you can project that wisdom or that consciousness into all beings. And then with the notion that, okay, since there's no space-time, I can just bring you back to the moment before you die, and I'm going to continue this energy since you're breathing with me. So you can do that, right? Let's say we write, you know, today, whatever was taught, we actually transcribe it and write the instructions. And then maybe 100 years later, it becomes a liturgy in itself that people are going to, and, you know, and okay, you transform your mind to the past or what. But it won't work unless someone is a cultivator, a practitioner. Just like why some kind of rituals that we practice now, it doesn't work because we're just following the form, you know. We don't know why the master composed that liturgy in that manner. So what I'm sharing with all of you is that, yes, I need to delegate the task to all of you as well. Not just to let people have the FOMO, but it's up to you to practice and eventually share the wisdom to others so that this Dharma wheel can keep spin beyond our generation. You know, although you're older than me, but I may die before you, right? So you could be the next generation, right? But it is our era to spread. So the more we practice, the more we are able to spread, you know, and let this last. Because who knows, right? Maybe we're not enlightened, and it requires people, the younger ones, to do that for us, to liberate us, to die in peace. Thank you, everybody.